blinds versus the Wind and Rain series that ended in that dramatic Game 2 finish where Wind and Rain barely won with the throne dying at the last second. So a lot of hype games have happened so far. And we're looking forward to another one. It is Singularity versus Kingdra. We are into the draft. Let's see if they do actually ban out the Dark Willow for Singularity. I would probably not be surprised.
They're just going to like let it happen at the last ban just to mess with him a little bit. So he gets his hopes up and then tilts him in the draft. And then as a result, he drafts worse because he's tilted.
Is there any chance that he just outright doesn't pick it if they don't ban it?
I feel like they're going to pick it for sure, surely.
It's Io for the second ban. Chen, pretty standard stuff. Bloodseeker.
The last ban.
They're going to do it. You're right.
They didn't ban it.
Oh my God, they banned Windranger.
There's no way.
They're not snap picking
First pick it?
He's okay. Yeah, they could pick it second.
What if Singularity picks it with their first two?
Then Bambo definitely abandons.
He just tilts out of the game.
Yep.
It would be funny if they don't even want to play it.
It's in his hands. Would he let it slip out of his hand?
It's right there.
Like...
No.
There it is.
It's gone.
Dark Willow, or male version.
I think he can still get it. I don't think Singularity will pick it. I would assume not first two anyway.
I mean, no one else even plays Willow, do they?
Nope.
Not since like Bucharest.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I don't think anyone plays the hero anymore. So.
Like Optic played it a few times at that tournament, but I haven't seen it really since then.
She got like slight nerfs, but not like anything super huge. And she just got a buff again right now. Isn't Bramble Maze early on lower cooldown? I'm pretty sure. It's not like 35 seconds anymore. It's like
check.
I'll take
it's
your
like
word for it,
28. It's still pretty bad, but
what a change.
It's not as late.
All right, Ember, Classic, Warlock. It has to get banned second phase now, I think, right? Or Kingdra pick it here.
Or Singularity just don't care.
Yeah,
because
they just
Dark
don't
Willow
care.
is not actually that good.
I'm really overplaying this Dark Willow.
But
for
if
Kingdra.
Bambo's feeling it, dude, it's a hero. You're going to go to your lane, you're going to cast your spells, you're going to fight to the death, and then you're going to die. But sometimes you're going to outplay your opponent, and maybe he's going to snowball that. And if he gets a lot of fast levels, he can spam Shadow Realm to just nuke the carry. Then the carry has to leave the game. Or the lane.
Has to leave.
Or gets Warlock healed.
Just leave the game once you
like,
get
exactly.
Get him out.
It's all over.
I don't think they're going to pick it.
I think there's if it doesn't get banned second phase, I think there's no way they don't pick a second phase.
No way.
I think there's
no way. Are you willing to bet on that?
I feel like it would be an okay bet, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I know Bambo, dude.
He's
a very confident guy. He knows he's talented. He knows he's one of the best, and he likes Dark Willow, and he wins with it.
Dark Willow? Oracle.
I like that.
Yes.
I like the Oracle.
So this was OG's Warlock solution. It can also purge
Ember
the
Spirit
Ember Spirit Flame Guard. It's a pretty nice pick. Generally, I would say Oracle and Night Stalker don't really play Dota the same way entirely, but you can make it work if you play more of an aggressive style Oracle. Perhaps similar to what OG did and put it position 4, give it a bit more priority and levels.
Do you think it's that kind of a weird pairing, though? Because Oracle does a ton of damage.
It's more that for Oracle to be a fully powerful hero, I think you need to use the ultimate very well, and Night Stalker is more of a skirmisher and not so much of a 5-man hero. So when the fights start breaking out, if it skirmishes, Oracle's okay, but later on loses a lot of its power. And if it's team fights, Night Stalker is not great, Oracle is fine, but you're fighting into Warlock Ember. So, I don't know, I feel like this pairing is not perfect. I'm not saying it's awful. I've seen way worse Oracle pairings, and I've seen worse like openings overall in these qualifiers across, but it doesn't feel, you know, that great. What was it OG picked their Oracle with first phase?
I don't think
They had
A Beastmaster, I think.
Yeah.
Beastmaster.
That was it, yeah.
Okay. That was my break game. Yeah.
And Beastmaster is a bit different from Night Stalker in the sense that he is better at the 5-man stuff. He has attack speed aura for pushing, he wants to group up and use wards at teamfight initiation, whereas Night Stalker is a bit more of a split fight kind of guy. Oracle likes when the fight is in one place.
I think Oracle is still good though, especially as long as like his Fate's Edict is better. Like that's what's so broken about the hero in some games is like if they just do a lot of magic damage, you have 2 ultimates. You've got Fate's Edict on a 7-second cooldown, and you've got your ultimate.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that guy's gonna live. That guy's gonna live. That guy's gonna live. Like you can change games so much.
It's definitely good. Fate's Edict is a great tool against Ember, for sure. It's all around just a nice hero against Ember across the game, except the catching aspect. That's the one thing he can't do.
Just kill him.
Yeah. You can purge steering chains too.
Yep.
So.
Well, it didn't get banned, but I don't think they're going to pick it anyway.
Why is that Maut?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Synderen has
You don't know
sold me at
shit.
this point. You're right. I don't know anything. I've got a feeling.
I would say it's at least a 50% chance.
Okay.
See, the thing is, Kevin's betting the player, not the game.
That's true. I don't understand drafting anyway, so like it's really easy, really obvious for me.
Same.
You'd be a good poker player, Kevin. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Overly confident, so they can't read my bluffs.
No. It's just you play the person, not the game.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty difficult to play poker if you don't know anything about the odds. at all.
Obviously, Kevin knows something about Dota. I'm just saying in this case, he's banking more on the player that he'll pick it because he's Bambo, not because it's actually good for the game.
So what you're saying is
What-
he has a pair.
Why do you? All right.
Yeah.
Other than Dark Willow isn't played, what do you think is bad about Dark Willow this game? Because I think the matchups are okay. Terrorize is good.
Yeah.
So
you
what,
get a stun
you're
into
talking
root.
like Dark Willow, Night Stalker offlane or something?
It got better now.
It'll be. I guess that would be the biggest negative is that if they pick Night Stalker already, that means that picking a core Dark Willow, and if Bambo's playing it offlane, then yes, Night Stalker has to be support or somewhere else, which isn't good.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing about it, in my opinion. Right
Charlie tried playing the one position Night Stalker earlier, although that did not work out very well.
But that was the last ditch thing. Their
Yeah.
fifth pick made him go into a position one.
My-
That game was a disaster.
So my primary problem with Dark Willow is that I think it's a really weak laner. It's actually, it has super long cooldown spells. It has a good attack animation and decent damage, but it has nothing defensive.
She has
low armor, low health.
extreme BAT. It's like
Yeah.
1.4.
She has a great base attack time, but are you really going to be able to pressure a lane this game into a Warlock plus whatever? I'm not sure.
That's
This
a great pick, though.
Nyx
Great
could be
Nyx
good
game.
here. Straight into the Spectre. So I think if you're Kingdra now, what you should be looking to do is put this Oracle plus a lane counter to Spectre together and try to target this Spectre specifically in the laning stage and run her over. So you get into an advantageous position. Nyx will have useful things to do. He can go to Lesh's lane and mana burn him. Whether he's a support or core, it's really annoying.
Very good against Ember in the mid game.
Yep.
And in the late game.
They might actually pick Invoker for cancel here. I think this could be an Invoker game. They have Nyx set up for Sunstrike.
Even Oracle setup is
He
not
should
bad.
have a relatively easy lane matchup against a probable Ember Spirit. Now that Spectre is safe lane, where else would he go?
There it is. The Dark Willow.
We figured it out, guys.
Getting nervous.
Lifestealer, I don't know. I don't think this was the pick.
I think they just want to go aggro with it, honestly.
Yeah.
To give Bambo the 1v1.
Yeah, give him the 1v1 Dark Willow. Let's go. All right,
then
Kevin sold me now, too. Their last pick in Dark
Midnight
Willow, for
Soccer.
sure.
I'm,
He's
less
on the
I'm much
bandwagon.
less
For
confident than I
sure,
was before.
100%. You can't back off now.
There
You
was-
finally swayed two people here.
There's 4 out of 5 picks here. There's a 1 out of 5 chance it gets picked now. That's how the math works.
He's playing the odds.
There it is.
Lifestealer is decent against Spectre in lane though. You just slap him a lot and it's a good time. Although if you go like the illusion or agility items plus radiance build, then it's less of a problem because you're just a lot higher armor.
So what about the Lifestealer? Don't you like just bad matchup against Ember? And Spectre late game can be annoying too.
It's more that I think he is not able to pressure the Spectre as much as I was hoping their core to do. But if they put the Lifesteal safe lane and get another hero for the off lane, it could be okay. But they're kind of locked, right? Night Stalker, Nyx, one of them has to be the off laner, and Lifestealer has to be the safe laner. I don't think you put Lifestealer mid this game.
What if he goes Armlet Deso and just tears Spec apart?
I'm not so concerned about his item build. It's more about can they prevent Spectre from even like enjoying the game in general.
I mean, if
Like,
Nyx at 6, Lifestealer bomb kind of stuff, is that too obvious or? Because I feel like that kind of works.
It definitely is a kill combo. It's just I feel like when you play against Spectre, you want to try to take advantage of its biggest weakness, which is its laning stage.
Okay, so lane against the Spectre and then do bombs later. Is
Yeah.
that better? As long as it's like a Lifestealer dual lane matchup against a Spec, then
Yeah, that's my thing though. I'm not sure how much that lane wins against Warlock, Spectre, Oracle, Lifestealer. Is that gonna
Sounds-
destroy them? It's gonna do fine, I think. I just don't.
I think it actually pressures a decent amount.
Yeah.
Because the Spectre
It
never
might.
wants to trade with the Lifestealer. You have a bat advantage on Oracle over Warlock, and plus you can either dispel or just negate all the damage that the Warlock can do in the lane. So
Yeah.
the Shadow Word can pretty much you can't even use it defensively because they'll just Fortune's End it.
the only time it works is if you Shadow Word the person when the creep wave is back. So if the carry matchup if the Lifestealer can harass the Spectre and the Oracle can deal with the Warlock, Warlock can never heal Spectre, as long as Oracle keeps his nuke.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I laned an Oracle versus a Warlock once, and it felt really easy. Obviously, it was a much lower MMR game, but it felt so broken. It was like, okay, you can't use your heal anymore. With that said, the other game when we saw it, I felt like the Warlock was using his heal just fine. So maybe it's not as good. There it is, the Dark Willow.
It's there. We found it. What a solid pick.
What is it with picking Mirana into Ember, man? Like,
Bambo really likes Mirana. By the
Ember
way,
likes
so.
this matchup. It's kind of, you first faced your Ember and you showed that he was mid lane, and this is the punishment that Kingdra comes up with, is putting Mirana against it. They could have chosen so many heroes that would have destroyed this Ember. And still been able to contribute to team fights. A hero I would have liked to see in the Lifestealer slot would have been Monkey King, just because he can crush Ember mid and Spectre in the safe lane, so they could kind of choose which lane to just run over.
Oh,
I was looking
boy.
at Bloodseeker as well, but it was banned. Else that would have been a nice pick too. Magnus.
Well, one thing I'm thinking is Oracle's first skill just got buffed. It doesn't disjoint anymore. So you could do Fortune's End or whatever it's called into an arrow, for sure, reliably, even against like Ember Spirit and stuff, as long as he's not jumping like.
Yeah, if he jumps
all the way
far
back
away.
to
So,
base.
yeah, true.
Unless you have enough leaps, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So it'll be Night Stalker is the offlane, probably with Oracle. And then, is that right?
Does anyone here feel like Kingdra can possibly win this game past minute 40?
Well, when you put it that way,
No.
no.
Like, in any possible way, how does their lineup win the game?
I mean, they've got double empower on 2 cores. It's gonna be hard.
They don't really push towers. They don't really kill Roche.
They have to.
They have worse team fight.
They have to like win the lanes and the mid game pressure with Lifestealer next.
Yeah,
That's
they
gonna be
need-
No, they
incredible.
don't have to
bombs.
win the
They
lanes.
need to
They
build
have
a
to
really big
destroy the
advantage.
lanes.
They have to snowball out of control this game,
Yeah,
I think.
they have to.
I'm feeling the Singularity draft more.
It sounds like everybody is on the same page about the drafts then.
Except for Bambo. Didn't get
Yeah,
Dark
no
Willow.
Dark Willow, unfortunately, Kevin. We'll talk
Damn.
about your payment later.
He had his chance, Kevin. He didn't want it.
After how much we talked it up, it's
This is an elimination game. Bambo's serious, dude. But wait, if we get to see the rest of the matches play out that don't matter, then we will see a Dark Willow game, guaranteed.
If they don't matter for both teams, they will not be played, I think. If they matter for one team, they
That's
will
why
be
I'm
played.
Yes.
upset about that rule.
yeah. They canceled. What was it? CIS or?
I think
It seems like it's every region
Yeah.
so far. They've had some.
There
I
might
know
have
they
been a
canceled
couple.
one region or parts of one region already because of the games not mattering for
I think
certain
it was
teams.
CIS.
Yeah. So there's a very good chance that happens.
These are very close odds, I feel like.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
All right. Well, we got to pause. I mean, are they going to send the Lifestealer against this Spectre? I thought they were going to, but
If they do, they'd have to pair it with Oracle. Is one of the negatives. And I was kind of curious what they would do with Nyx, I guess. Like, pair Nyx with Life. Is it better to pair Nyx with the Night Stalker? I'm not sure. But surely you put Oracle against Warlock. Otherwise, he's not as good of a support as other supports.
does the Nyx just want to be around the Leshrac, or does he not really care what lane he's in to start off at this
I think
stage?
you want to put him against Lesh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably the most useful you can be. It's mana burning. Because the mid matchup, I guess it's going to be the, yeah, it's going to be Mirana. So Mirana doesn't really need help in that 1v1.
This hero is quite the hero. This Mirana hero. But
No, they could even do bombs with Leap.
I guess that is their one, like Synderen was
That's not
saying.
that bad. That's not even a joke. That's good.
Next level.
I'm just saying it's so early.
Yeah. I'm just picturing it. I'm just having a good time picturing this. Mirana just leaping in and then...
It's like,
I can't wait. I'm going to hype that up so hard.
It'd be better if the arrow missed. They leap in, the infest comes out, and it's just wasted.
It just
That's
misses
the-
completely.
Or like if he accidentally leaps the second time, but it goes the wrong way.
Mirana
or-
has no more leaps to leap out of any bad situation when she leaps in.
Damn, yeah. The synergy is insane in
Unreal.
the Dire team.
It's unreal synergy. You know what they're going to do? They're going to wait for nighttime, and then Night Stalker's going to run around, start slapping people with the life.
You know what's bad when you can hear Sin's disapproval in his statements. He just. What do you got against the Dire team?
I
Yeah,
just
dude.
don't think their draft can really win this game unless they play exceptionally well and run over their lanes, which they did not show much promise for in recent games. So
All
I'm
right.
a bit concerned.
If we take a look
We'll
at that
see how it
Spectre
goes.
item, it looked pretty sick.
Oh boy, here we go.
What is this?
Conservator's
Conservator's
Headguard.
Headguard,
It's
Mantle of Enduring Solitude.
I don't care about the fancy getup. I want to see the blade of enduring solitude.
There you go. He also has 228 realities leading to kills.
That
so
I am.
he presses RD a lot.
Can you spam that for extra points? Is my question.
I would hope not. It's leading to kills, so I'm assuming you have to reality in and then kill the person.
The real question is, why do you only have that relic and nothing else?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'll like look through heroes I kind of want to play, but I don't want to spend a lot of time random.
Yeah.
So I'll look for some of the ones that are interesting. Actually, to be like, oh, you've had a zombie horde, like 15 plus zombies. That one's kind of cool, you know. But the other ones are like, how many times have you casted Decay successfully? It's like I don't give a shit about tracking that. It's really not important, you know. So I can get behind the realities leading to kills.
I bought one for each hero that I played a fair amount, and then more for specific heroes like Undying that I play a lot of. So I can see him buying just one particular relic.
And sometimes you play a lot of supports, and like 30% of your other trackers are really boring shit. Like how many times have you de-warded an observer ward? I just
Who cares about?
that's why you buy these cool ones when you can.
Yeah, who cares how well you played your role, right?
Look, I'm just gonna show off. Like, look how many pub games I planted a ward in.
Yeah, I mean the
Who
wards.
gives a shit?
The wards placed one, I think, actually counts with sentries. So you could just, when the game ends, you could buy a lot of sentries and just plop them everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's a good way to boost your
Had those
ward
stats
count.
too.
My relic rating is so high.
Left me position 5. I have 100,000 wards placed.
The dream.
What's
Alright.
the Magnus Lesh lane?
Yes, the Marauda is mid versus the Ember Spirit. It is going to be the Nyx lane,
Okay.
and that will leave the Spectre against the Night Stalker Oracle, but of course that means the Oracle is there against the Warlock. We'll keep our eyes peeled on who's going to draw first blood first here.
He doesn't have Orb of Venom on Oracle, does he?
He does not.
Oh.
You don't have it on the Night Stalker either.
I kind of like this. It's not going to be super effective, but it might be a better skill point than the heal.
The Fatal Bonds.
Yeah. The thing is, he can also purge Fatal Bonds. So right now, Oracle is bound to 1 melee creep.
But apparently it doesn't
Nah.
AoE purge, just purges the target.
It purges the target.
Okay.
The AoE is the root.
I
But
guess technically then it doesn't matter because then you're the only person. I guess it was cut to a creep.
bound
is
to
what it
creep.
was,
It's
but
going to start mattering when Fatal Bonds is level 2 or 3.
Slightly.
After seeing that, I think you should still skill to heal, probably.
Ryu is taking a lot of damage. Good Split Earth.
That's-
Shockwave,
that's
first
a
blood.
kill.
That was nice. It was right around the corner, too.
Ooh, that was a big mistake.
And now they're going on Bambo bottom. I don't think they can get the kill or anything, but they will put some more harassment onto Jabs and Bambo.
He has nuked. Oh, outplayed. He has nuked the Spectre. He actually should have saved that, I feel like.
All right, so this laning phase, you mentioned Kingdra have to have a decent... I know it's only a minute 40 in. I don't want to say the sky's
Just
falling
call
or
the
anything.
game, Maut. Just
Yeah,
say
it's
GG.
over. That's it. Let's go home.
Should have picked Willow.
Then at least Kevin would have been happy.
I mean, Spectre looks like a good fighting hero right now. He's got 9 frickin' last hits.
Oh, I missed that kill. All right, my bad.
He's on the board. Well, that's good. They got killed the Lesh at least.
That's a 24-hour caster schedule right there.
Careful.
Cancel will survive mid against Mastermind, who just jumps in with his Flame Guard level 2.
Looks like he might have used the slight to either Dutch Starstorm or an arrow.
Another
Stun.
Split Earth onto Charlie this time. He has no rage. He does have a salve and 2 stick charges. Mikey has no mana. He does have a mango, and he's going to use it. Charlie will stay alive. They needed 2 more auto attacks. They couldn't quite find it. He's going to salve up in the tree line. Split Earth, had he hit it, would have been nice. It would have canceled the salve and probably made it back, but that's not going to happen. Still, Mikey is getting really good farm in this lane.
I am just getting so disillusioned from Night Stalker, honestly.
Yeah,
It's like, what does this hero do?
They have nerfed him a tremendous amount of times.
it's true.
But then why are they opening it, you know? I guess my view of Night Stalker combined with cross-section with how often pros pick him early on is bothering me. Other than the fact that it's obviously safe, in a way, but it always feels like a weakness.
Arrow?
Oldest trick in the book.
Some slammed. Nah, he's fine. Well, laning phase-wise, pretty good stuff for Singularity. I have a slight advantage.
The
Spectre
fact
getting
that
good farm.
the Spectre is getting this much farm is definitely an issue. But I'm not sure if the Light Stealer would have been able to pressure much more. Is he just dead?
Yeah, he might just be dead. They have Purifying Flames, but Shadow.
Oh, he held the heal. Very
that
nice.
was nice. Yep. They're gonna auto attack jabs a few times and start taking them down too. So they give the kill to Stolen, but Adamson's still getting a lot of farm. 21 last hits. He also got the assist, obviously.
So now you compare this lane to what OG ran with the Oracle plus Beastmaster, and you just see how it's a totally different world, right? Like, he's babysitting a hero that does nothing in lane, like, instead of babysitting a hero that pressures in lane. It's the
Yes.
Warlock, it doesn't actually even matter that much that Warlock is countered, because Night Stalker isn't beating Spectre.
He's not even that countered. The Warlock's kind of outplaying the situation. I don't know why he keeps using his... He keeps dispelling Fatal Bonds alone. It's nighttime, though, finally, at least. But
Yeah, now it gets a bit more interesting for him.
but it's like... I don't know, man. It's just... Like, at least get the... I feel like he should have had Orb of Venom, very surely. But I'm sure there was some, like, lacking. They needed to sacrifice something item-wise. I guess Nyx would have been too gimped if he had Orb of Venom. But if you get Orb of Venom, then your right-clicks actually do something to Spectre, instead of just being halved every time you get a Stealth Shield. And then they would actually need to use the heal defensively. That's the issue, basically, is that, like, they don't need to use the heal because they're not harassed. Therefore, Oracle doesn't counter. That's the problem.
Yep.
They are out of regen now. They had tangos up until this point. They're gone. And it is nighttime, as previously mentioned.
Oh, that is very cocky.
That's a shadow word. Jabs. If they just kept chasing jabs, they would have gotten that kill, I think. He wanted the bounty rune. He didn't get it. Meanwhile, they're going to fight for the top bounty rune. Charlie is open wounding him. He's already used Rage. Mikey's running over. Beeryu's going to take a lot of auto attack damage from this Empower. They have Skewer. Good usage of the Spike Carapace, and now Bashrik is going to die to the Nyx and the Nakes.
That's nice for Kingdra. They got 3 runes and a kill.
Someone want to say Nyx for me? No?
Yes.
Everyone get that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. There you go.
Thank you. Perfect.
he
Somebody
set
had
you
to
up.
hold me back from that awkward silence. That's an old meme. That was a first 4-day meme.
Oh, yeah?
Don't you remember?
Don't remember, actually.
All right, now they're harassing the Spectre down a little bit. Nighttime has become good to Kingdra.
Just use a defensive heal here. Stand back a little bit.
So it looks like they're dominating now.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It worked. But the first 4 minutes, I feel like, still should have maybe been better, because Spec still has 29 freaking last hits. Like, he's still
He's
getting...
farming a lot better than Bambo, like almost doubling his CS at the moment.
Okay, here's why. Bambo didn't buy Quelling Blade. I think that's a really big mistake. When you're playing a melee hero in this patch in dual versus dual lane, I think every single melee hero needs a Quelling Blade except like Darkseer. I can't think of any other hero where you don't buy it on. He is missing so many CS because he doesn't have like free 24 damage, basically.
That's
The other thing too
surprising.
is there's not really a lot of heroes on this team that are going to be able to make effective moves against the Spectre. You're going to have to like smoke for it guaranteed, and you're going to need to... I don't know if bringing just the Nyx is enough.
Double damage for Mastermind.
Does
He
it
has
silence?
raindrops. He's going to remnant it away back into the tower. He's out of mana. He will use his bottle for now.
Thank God I did all that Flame Guard knowledge. A Raindrop and a Flame Guard is probably counter stacking. Doesn't stack.
Yeah.
They're both
Raindrop is
wasted.
not good on Ember.
Now he's out of it
Assuming your
now.
Flame Guard's up.
Yep.
Like, when you turn Flame Guard on, you should actually just drop your Raindrop if you're okay with losing the mana regen until it goes away.
All right, well, in the meantime, enough about... Well, actually, they tried finding Mastermind. They have rotated many a hero to mid lane for Kingdra. He's just going to TP, and this is a
But
waste
guess
of
why they
time.
call him
Hunter the Knight-
Mastermind?
Oh, my
close.
God.
That
Tilting.
feels so bad, dude. That would have been such a sick kill. Bambo's
Isn't
left
that what's
lane.
expected, though? It's Kid versus Mastermind. What do you think
You're
is
right.
gonna happen?
You're right.
Of course.
He is
We're
the
taking
Of
it
course
too far
Mastermind
now.
gets out. How's that too far?
It's too far.
It's that's too far.
That one's
Oh,
too, over
okay.
the edge.
My bad.
So Bambo basically left the lane, and now he's all over the map. This means Spectre is going to be getting free farm, but Oracle's getting some free low. He's level 5 now.
He rotates back down bottom. He voids him once.
Even during nighttime, he's like barely able to pressure. The Spectre just has treads and a wand, and he doesn't care.
I mean, this is before they even throw the Empower on Spectre or Ember Spirit, and Mag is still getting absolutely amazing farm. He's going to go for
So
Vanguard first.
that was a full first phase night with 0 kills.
Yeah.
He did pressure well the first like 2 minutes in the lane, but and I liked his attempt going for Ember, but I think he should have gone back bottom almost immediately afterwards. Like, if he gets that Ember kill and then he instantly goes bottom, I think it's fine. But missing that kill and now being in this place is just not good.
I mean, look at Charlie. He's right up there. I mean, he's tied with the Spectre. I feel like, shouldn't he be doing better in this lane, and just in general, I suppose?
I don't know. I think this lane's actually a bit stronger than the off lane of Kingdra.
Okay.
Like, look at how much spam they have.
Yeah.
They can force the rage. They have a really good actual kill potential. And plus, now that Mikey's 6, like if the Lifestealer messes up, he can die.
Speaking of dying, Beer, you might have that happen to him. Impale comes out, Lightning Storm to slow. They need to split Earth. They will find it. Raindrop will protect him for a moment. They have Moonlight Shadow, will not keep him alive even with a nice stick charge. And back to farming.
Look at how tanky Magnus is.
He's not even got the full Vanguard yet.
No, when he has that, he doesn't really care anymore.
So he went Treads first too. He didn't go Arcanes or anything like that. He's just going to get Treads.
How much strength gain does this hero have?
3.2.
That's pretty good.
It's decent.
Yeah, he is really tanky.
He is 700 net worth ahead of the next closest person. Mirana is doing okay, and when this hero does get late game in like level 15 plus a couple of items, she actually does hit very hard. I mean, he's doing pretty well in the Mirana compared to that of the Ember Spirit. So.
And Bambo's now a lower level than the Warlock.
All right, that's
And we're 9 minutes and 45
maybe
seconds.
a problem.
I just think in a world where you're trading farm against Spectre, and you don't have any real way of pressuring objectives outside of just getting a lot of hero kills, and your first night hasn't resulted in a kill, and you're gonna lose your Nyx. It's a tough game.
Yeah, the
He
Ren.
mistimed it.
That's nice.
Okay.
Spike
Japs
hit.
is strong in this fight with a level 5 Oracle.
They have 4 heroes here. They don't have Golem yet, and Adamson needs to run away now. Remnant in, though. Here comes the Ember Spirit. Starstorm comes out, trying to turn back around as the Spectre still in trouble. Spectral comes out. Is he going to stay alive? He's trying to juke and jive any way that he can, but they get off the Purifying Flame. Double kill for Jabs at the end of it.
That was so close. Actually.
Fate's Edict, OP.
This is what the Dyer's lineup is good at, is these like scrappy fights, 3-on-4, 2-on-3s, 2-on-2s, where they get to just cast their spells and not have RP, not have Golem.
It's good that Cancel rotated over. When he TP'd mid after being in the
that's
fountain, I was very worried that I was like, okay, he's going back mid. Now the next fight that happens, he's not going to be there. But he planned ahead. He must have walked over for the bounty rune, and he ended up being there for that fight. That was very
good.
important.
Well,
Actually going to get into the gold lead because of these bounty runes and the kill.
Did they get all 4?
I think they got 3.
Okay.
No, they got all of them.
they got
All 4?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
No,
that
got
was
3
the
bottles.
Mikey
yeah.
got 1 ton.
Yeah.
That makes it harder to tell.
That confuses the hell out of me.
I actually wish they just wouldn't even show that, personally.
It's an important piece of information.
For regular runes. I don't care if anyone literally anyone bottles the bounty rune. I don't care. The only time it ever would matter is if you're playing Alk and you want to save it for a minute or something, get an extra 3.5 gold.
There you go. That's a haunt.
it.
They haunted mid,
Interesting.
tried
Made
to
it sound
find
like
cancel.
it really mattered there.
All right, where did he really get these stats from, dude? He probably paid somebody who plays account to get these reality kills. Because that one did not work out.
Maybe it is abusable somehow. No, I'm sure it's that was a little rough. First haunt down, not the end of the world.
Well, it's looking okay for Kingdra all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're starting to stabilize. They will have to deal with this Magnus, but it's a Magnus. He has level 2 in power. He's going to get Blink pretty soon, and then maybe things get a bit more interesting for Singularity. Plus, they have Ember, Spectre, really good late game heroes. So
At least at this point, Spectre is kind of forced to jungle with his Haunt being down, his mana being down. His HP is actually not that great. But that said, they've got great safe lane ward vision. There's a buddy engagement top lane. That is literally 2 heroes Maut usually watch. There you go. Okay.
thank you.
There was one in the Satyr as well, if I'm not mistaken.
You can't jump this mag. This guy is not gonna die.
He's very beefy. He's 1700 HP.
He's got a Vanguard.
Yeah, he's a beefcake.
They can kill that guy though.
Yes, they certainly can kill this Leshrac, and boy, is he dead. Mikey could RP. He's not going to because there's nobody here to help him out, even if he did. Decides not to. They stun Ember Spirit. They hit an arrow. He has Flame Guard. That's a Starstorm coming in. Void. Searing Chains. He needs a remnant. The Golem turnaround. Here comes the RP. It's on to 2. The Shockwave. Disastrous fight for Kingdra.
Can you check Bambo's hero for a moment?
Yes.
Okay, it does have silence.
Wait,
His
where?
silence
Oh,
was
it's
on
a
cooldown.
Was it?
Yeah, it was on cooldown. I don't know
okay.
what happened.
They nerfed
He must
it,
have
remember?
used it earlier in the fight.
It's like a 20-second level on cooldown.
Oh,
or
it's
something.
really long.
24.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. If he doesn't have that, if he has the silence, 100% killed. No,
Yeah.
no 2 heroes dead. Great play.
I was getting ready there. I was getting ready
You
to
were-
tear
Me
him
too.
apart.
I was like,
Silence.
not
Where's that
again, dude.
silence?
Not
You've already
again.
done that once today too.
I was warming up. I was like, yep, I love hating this, and I still do.
They skewered the Nyx into tower range. The Impale comes out. It's a Magnus who is incredibly
bonds.
tanky.
Saving Biryu.
He is out of mana, to be fair.
They actually did nothing to him.
Ember's rotating back in with a Javelin. That's a Crimson
got-
Guard. That's
wow.
a full Crimson Guard on that Magnus.
How much armor does he have?
He is at 14.
14.
That's with the tower.
So
Oh,
it's
12, yeah, sorry.
For real though, did they need to take Crippling Fear from 12 seconds to 24 at level 1? That's
No.
like a disgust.
That
That's
is
like
actually-
such an epic nerf.
It's an
that
insane
alone.
change when you
Out,
think
out of
about
all the other nerfs to the hero, like I think the Void lack of mini stun during day is far less severe than like 24 seconds Crippling Fear.
it. They doubled it.
Like that was, but I mean, still being picked and all, but like
I think overall the biggest nerf Night Stalker was the Darkness one. That is probably still the one that hit the hardest.
So what?
The Darkness nerf.
Oh,
is
right.
the one that hit the hardest.
the vision aspect
Yeah,
of
the
it.
vision.
Old
Darkness
You
with-
could accept being weaker in lane like this if you still hit your timing where your team can just dominate the map, but the domination is not nearly as severe as it used to be with Darkness. So. How is it? It doesn't affect towers at all. It doesn't affect wards at all,
Yes.
but it affects heroes more unless they have more natural night vision. Yeah.
Look at this. They are using the Nyx Vendetta pretty well. They found a few kills with it. Well, I think just one actually. But
Actually, can you check Darkness real quick?
Yep.
Does it affect wards?
Now
Enemy
we're
Yeah, it
unit
affects
and
wards,
wards,
just
yeah,
not towers.
I was right. It's not buildings. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. So wards lose 25%. It's something. But it's not nearly as strong as it used to be.
I'll take top tier 1 for Singularity.
Incredible range creep last hit.
Nice. You really got it.
Jimmy the hero.
Jimmy. There's triple range creep in this group.
Let's watch Jimmy's heroic death against
Which
Siege
one's
creep.
Jimmy?
Well,
Is it
let's watch
this one?
mid lane.
Let's watch mid lane.
Whichever one you're cheering for more.
Jimmy did not get that one.
He couldn't make it all the way to mid, unfortunately.
That was his brother Charlie. Unfortunately, he's playing a hero.
Good old Charlie.
Oh, Ember.
And Pale does sit
Just
on
like-
an Amber Spirit.
He's invulnerable.
It's time to run. Mikey has his RP. Here comes Charlie.
Good edict.
They really
Skewer
wanna,
away.
but let's be real. That guy's not dying.
No. They're all mid for Dire. They're under sentries, though. They've all been spotted, essentially. They know they're all there.
One
for-
upside to Oracle here is he can purge Crimson Guard and the guy they want to kill.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
It's actually incredible how many dispels you actually need in most cases. He didn't have enough mana, unfortunately, for him. Like, there's actually so many things that you would love to use. If a hero had, like, the Brewmaster split dispel, you would use it, like, every 8 seconds in a team fight, all the time.
Yeah.
It would be so good now. Which is a cool way to take the game. I really do like all the ways they've changed dispels in this game.
Is that because your nickname's Purge?
I was going to
Arrow?
say
No,
it.
That's not why.
By the
I
rush
was
pit?
going to say
Maut?
it. I got it. I
Okay.
found it.
It's
Don't
just
worry.
I
Maut,
just like
stop
it.
thinking about jokes and cast the damn game.
This is your fault. I'm blaming you for this one.
I just like it because it's if you have good knowledge about how mechanics works, then it's beneficial, and I
Yeah.
like mechanics. So
That's a false promise.
He's gonna live for sure.
He's fine.
I
this
still
Leshrac
would
is
say
getting
the
chased.
pace of this game, like getting the mid tower and everything, is nice for Kingdra, but I don't know if it's enough. It doesn't really feel like they're trying to control the map as best they can. Like they got heroes toward like in the enemy jungle and whatnot, but
what about his net worth? Like his net worth is actually pretty far down now. The spec, he's like significantly away from where
yeah, but there's level 4 in power now, so that will
That
be
will cry.
alleviated.
Yeah.
I suppose he can jungle it.
It's about the level of expectation of, like, Spectre is not supposed to be the same net worth as Lifestealer in the game. If Spectre is a bit behind, that's, you know, the expected outcome. If he did better than this, if Spectre had 7k net worth now, I feel like the game is in such a great spot for Singularity. But now it's, you know, it's a relatively even game right now. Kingdra need to start snowballing and find some fights, though. They can't just sit back and wait, because yes, you see, Spectre being 5.5k when Lifestealer 7.5k is okay, but when it starts being 10 to 12k and 12 to 14k, that's when it starts hurting, because then Spectre's net worth is so much more valuable in team fights than Lifestealer's is. But for now, they're both weak, so.
And there's not really a great. I guess you could infest a Night Stalker or cancel. Those are probably your two best, but like the Nyx is gonna need a Blink Dagger as well. Speaking of,
Did he not even know? He didn't
that
have
is a
vision.
didn't know.
Crimson Guard Magnus, friends.
I mean, there's no way
Get
to kill
him!
this guy. They're all
He has-
chasing after him.
2400 HP.
He dodged the arrow. They're gonna rage. They could still use. I mean, he is taking some damage. It is a Lifestealer, but it's not nearly enough.
Is he?
Did he not even use his armlet there?
Just kill him,
That was
lol.
the Crimson Guard offsetting all of his armlet damage. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
All right, well.
The 60 damage block
I
guaranteed.
was getting ready for a lot more damage than that. It didn't happen.
In the meantime, Spectre's just farming.
AFK.
At least he doesn't have Empower, so not progressing too much during that. But that is not the hero they want to find. I think the problem here is, so Dire took the mid tower and the bottom tower, but they're not controlling the enemy jungle. They need to get down here and own this area.
Yeah.
They have to constrict the Spectre from farming safely inside her own jungle. She shouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of sentries all over the place and Radiant's defense.
Yeah.
They're protecting their area
But
well.
the fact that they have sentries means that they got in there, right? Unless they had them pre-placed before they lost their tower, which is a nice play, but I don't think that's what happened.
It's true. The
So-
deny master over here.
How old is that sentry right above you?
It's freshy.
It's 1.5 minutes old.
I really like the obs that they have placed in Kingdra, like right by the normal ward hill. Between the other one.
Yep.
Down to the right, yeah.
Yeah, that one's
I like
great.
that ward.
They have this one in their own jungle too, interesting. I guess it's just to see if Timber Spirit's up there or whoever's farming that
Well, the
area.
tier 1 offlane is still alive, so
Oh,
sometimes you
really?
see that rotation.
Alright.
Alright, it's go time. Bambo wants to hunt.
This is a little overdue, I feel. But it's good they're getting on the map.
But look at the patience.
But look at how they're grouped. Like right now, the best target to go for is the one they don't really want to smoke on, you know?
He's out anyway.
Yeah, they're misreading it again. They're
This is gonna hurt.
this happened last game they played, I think, as well. They went for a good smoke, but they checked the wrong side of the map.
Just nice play from Singularity to be on the bottom side of the map and
I don't know, this just feels so arbitrary. It's like the time that they did this felt like it could have happened minutes ago, like 10 minutes ago or something. Nyx is 6, get him invis, get the infest going, go for a gank. But now they're like 300 gold from Relic being finished. And that's when they do this? Like,
The timing is a little bit odd.
You also see this the smoke is... The reason the smoke fails is that they didn't control the enemy jungle, because then they would have information about where the heroes are. It's like a coin flip for them almost. Are they Radiant top? Are they Radiant bottom? They don't know because they don't have enemy...
Well,
they only had that one ward to the left side of the jungle, but they don't see all of the south part. And they should see it with heroes by owning that that part of the map. And now they're going to lose their mid tower. This is a pretty poor trade for a smoke.
that was a 5-2.
even if they get this kill, it's
Or
not the
four,
end of
I
the world. He has 1,700 gold. He is almost certainly dead, or he should be. Yeah. But that's fine. He got the tier 1 tower. He made more space for his Spectre and his Ember Spirit. His Ember Spirit is just pushing bottom tier 1 at this point, with already a Maelstrom and building into a Yule Scepter.
It- oh, nice arrow.
Does he have the damage? Not yet.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
He got out at least. So 2k gold lead at this point, it doesn't feel like it's enough. But the nice thing about this game for Kingdra is that it feels like they're at least getting to show what they can do in the mid and later stages of the game, because they're, you know, getting online. The game we saw earlier, they got absolutely destroyed.
Well, I hope against the Spectre game you don't lose in 30 minutes. Nice kill.
Reality. Does he want a
I
reality
think,
again?
to give you an idea, I think if Wind and Rain were playing this Radiant lineup, this game would be not looking like this.
So you think it would be a stomp, basically?
I'm not sure if it would be a stomp, but I think they would start to pull significantly ahead at this point by just having better team movements and doing more. Have we seen an RP yet?
No.
I don't think so.
It's
We
20
saw one in mid. He hit the 2-man RP and
Oh,
then they had
right,
the
when they
Ember
were
Spirit
diving.
assault.
Yeah, when they were diving.
Mhm.
That's true.
It's been 22 minutes. You've used one RP and one haunt, it feels like, or maybe two. Ember hasn't been too hungry for killing either. It's like when you drop this bit down, you look at a team like OG, and then you drop down a skill bracket, and then it's a lot more about killing creeps and a lot less about making moves, because the warding is worse, the wave clearing is a bit worse, it's less efficient, so it feels harder to make moves all the time. And this Radiant team, I feel like they should be super hungry to fight.
This
They have
is-
so much team fight. Like,
This is dangerous. And the Roach Pit with RP Golem, they're going to take it, I think, because I don't think SNG are responding fast enough.
Their wards are good for spotting it coming.
Yeah.
fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, and
There
that's
we
a great
go.
play they needed to make, I think, in order to actually...
They've almost got Radiance on Lifestealer now, so this means his team fight, they're going to have Radiance and their opponents don't, surprisingly.
This is a timing to go.
Yeah, but the Spectre's going to have Manta really soon.
Yeah.
And that's a big item, because when you're playing Lifestealer, the worst thing that you can play against are heroes with escapes, or heroes that build Manta really early in their item progression and don't care about building it. And I think this is one of those games.
I played Elk versus Lifestealer recently. He open wins me, and I just turned my ulti on and then I walked away. It was so good. It was
All right,
so
it
good.
purges now.
Yeah, that is, it feels good.
Or dispels, rather.
All
Dude, I
right.
actually haven't seen Alchemist for weeks. I just
Except for
realized.
this morning.
Yeah, except for that one game.
was
with
right,
our-
you
he
didn't
wasn't there. That's
I didn't
right.
watch
Yeah.
that game,
It
but
was-
I haven't seen it in any of my pubs either.
Spoiler, it wasn't impressive.
I don't think you wanted to see it.
He
to be
just hit
fair.
creeps. That's
I would
literally.
love to see it.
I don't think I saw him use his stun one time the whole game, actually.
I
No,
don't think
he
he skilled
didn't.
it until like
He did.
level
Well.
10, 9, something like that. Must have been 9.
What position was it?
He
He
was
was
mid.
mid.
He was mid against a Quaswex Invoker.
He went 403, and then he got stunned.
Life was
later.
going well, and then they rotated on him like 3 times. They tornado EMP'd him, and he died. That was life.
Oh, bottom. Lesh getting chased down.
He has a glimmer.
Ooh.
That's pretty nice for a position 5 Lesh. He's been like split pushing this entire game pretty much. Meanwhile, they silence up Mastermind. It is daytime. He will Yules himself. Does he pop the DD and go for this? He's thinking about it. Nah. He didn't need to pop the DD, but it's fine.
Well, he did because he needed his.
I think it
next
had been
run.
bottled for a long time anyway.
Oh, it was
yeah.
at 2 minutes? Okay.
It was close.
That makes more sense. So yeah, the Manta Style is done for Spectre. He's going directly into Scotty.
Interesting.
I would have thought something like a Diffusal Blade or something, not Scotty. but-
It's going more defensive, basically.
yeah.
You still want to try to make use of your passive. Like Dispersion, having a large effective health pool just means that if you do get focused in fights, you're going to be doing a lot more damage to everyone. And plus, it's good stats to have with the Empower as well. So I think it's still a really solid choice.
And it's a lot of armor too, which is really nice against Lifestealer. Covers a lot of bases. And if he's got the Warlock heal, he doesn't really need that much passive heal from something like hard anyways. He can always go hard afterwards. Or maybe he can go like a butterfly afterwards and just his illusions are just going to deal a crap load of damage. Maybe this is why he gets all the reality kills.
That's the one right there.
Thinking next level.
Have you guys ever tried the 25 Spectre perk, the Haunt illusion damage one?
No.
Nope.
Couldn't tell. I skilled it. It was so bad.
Was it actually bad? I can see some games it being decent.
Like if you have like Diffusal, Manta, Butterfly, Scotty or something, yeah, it's probably good.
I
but
don't play Spectre enough to actually get to
I
that
feel
talent.
like that's the talent you get when you're so far ahead. It doesn't matter what talent you get.
Yeah,
But like 9 times out of 10, the Dispersion is just going to give you more bang for your buck.
because it's always useful.
Yeah.
The other one's like,
I'm taking 8% less damage and also dealing 8% more damage from
Yeah.
that damage.
What a set of abilities Spectre has for the late game.
do you go the dagger perks? Yes.
You're really into this.
I love these dagger perks, yes. This is one other benefit of him having Scotty is that he doesn't feel as bad about losing it, and it gives you a lot of int, which normally you wouldn't make use of, but now he has permanent dagger. I'm pretty
Does
sure.
that mean you get the 20?
Yes.
Do you get the 20 slow?
It is permanent.
It's ridiculous, honestly.
It
You-
sounds good, but if you even run the smallest risk of dying, I think you have to take health.
It is all right. It's 40% movement speed. I've tried it. I've seen it played against an Ember Spirit before. He just can't Remnant ever again, because every Remnant is slow. Always. It's pretty cool. I don't necessarily say it's good against like Lifestealer, but if he's always 40% movement speed faster, it's kind of crazy. And his opponents they kind of have some like chain disable problems, I would argue.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the value of it. Like the movement speed portion alone, it's like having the AA Vortex or whatever, just being able to fly everywhere.
And he might still go health at 20, honestly.
Yeah.
It's possible he'll skip the dagger thing, but
I think that's maybe why he's going Scotty, is so he can get the health talent and not have to worry about the initial slow.
yeah, I can see that.
Run, Bambo. Alright, he's out of there. They have spotted out Buryu. He's walked around on the sentry. They're not going to go for him. Top's being pushed in crazily.
Oh, he's actually split pushing basically. He's essentially a spear bearer. The
Exactly.
Lifestealer.
He now has a BKB on the Mirana for any further action they take. It's actually still a 3K lead for Kingdra. A lot of that is coming from both the Lifestealer and the Mirana at this point in the game.
You ever hear the phrase false lead?
Yes.
It's basically what they have right now.
That's what I figured. They
I mean,
they didn't use the Aegis either.
The Roche was a nice touch. I do like the fact that they went for it. But if they're not able to do anything with this Aegis, like they can't take the last tier 2, they're not even really controlling the map at the moment. Sure, Singularity are a bit grouped, but it's not as if they're not able to get anything on their Spectre.
Bambo did just get a gem though, so all of these sentries on the map are about to become very dead on the bright side.
I'm wondering
Almost
what
92.
they're gonna do to solve the Spectre problem later. Sometimes we've seen atomization like Silver Edge to try to deal with Spectre.
Yeah, but who
Nullifier.
buys it this game?
That's the problem. You could maybe get it on Night Stalker actually, but I don't know if that feels good to do in this position. Maybe you just keep itemizing and racking up serious damage on the Lifestealer and try to take that route. A burning creep
Oh,
wave.
nice smoke break.
They're going to find the Night Stalker. If they lose this gem, that'd be a problem. He's going to pop the pipe. He still has a Solar Crest to work with. They have the Impale. They miss it from Beer. He has the Infest he's looking for. They're trying to find Destruct. He's going to get back. He's glimmered up. They're going to dust him now. Haunt comes in. That's a dead Nyx Assassin. RP onto 2. False Promise comes out immediately. He's going to just go for the TP, and that's really big if they can get him out, and they do. Can they continue to chase with Jabs? Eul Scepter comes out with Mastermind. Jabs will try to get away. Instead, they'll focus their attention to Bamboo at this point. Golem dropped down. They held onto it for a while. He's going to hunt for the night. He is slowed up by a Diffusal Blade, I believe, that they just bought.
Gem.
And that is the gem down. So 2 dead, RP used, gem picked up.
That was a nice fight to see the double daggers coming out from Spectre. Felt pretty useful. 15 talent.
I didn't notice it that much, but
Huh?
I wasn't paying that specific attention to it, but it looked good.
If there's 2 spectral daggers on the ground at once, it means he has the talent or Arcane Rune or Refresher, I guess. I don't think there's any other way. Oh,
Impale,
nice combo.
BKB, they're going to find this
Got
Spectre.
him.
She's down for 54. Can they get Mikey as well? No RP. He's going to try to skewer away. He takes the Nyx along with him. He's on the high ground. He can't get down. Mikey is dead. That's the gem back in favor of Kingdra. Now
Wow.
Stolen is going to have to TP away. He will do so successfully, but man, they got the gem back somehow.
How did they all fit on that hill?
It's a party up there. Yeah, good old times. Nice fight, though.
That was such a nice impale.
Makes up for his previous one. Burry's had a couple weird impales. They've always been like
Yeah,
some weird
he-
cockeyed angles.
He had a couple of misfires.
But that one was super good. And it really made things kind of worth it if you think about it. I mean, they basically traded RP for Oracle ulti and Lifesteal exiting the fight. They lost that gem, but their opponents kept pushing, and then they find this like crazy fight where they just didn't even have to worry about RP. Once I realized that, I was like, oh, this fight is easy. RP literally doesn't matter. Magnus is now worthless.
I end up getting 4 bounty runes for this. That's a 2k gold swing.
The dream. This Lifestealer and Mirana are starting to become an issue. Cancel is big when he pops BKB especially. Although fighting into Haunt and RP is kind of an impossibility.
Was Diffusal used?
Yes. Nice, what is it? 15-second cooldown. He's empowered. Mastermind is not. Arrow sails, misses. Roche back up in 15. They are contesting the Roche pit. I don't think they know that it's going to be up that quickly.
It makes
very
sense.
very short respawn time. It's like 8 minutes and 15 seconds for the full respawn time, I believe.
It makes sense he's buying agility. I know, right?
False Promise comes out. Spectre's in. Oh, he actually got stunned while he was looking for the RP. They still get it onto Charlie, but he actually already used his open wounds. False Promise is used on the cancel. He is going to heal up. There's the BKB coming out. The Haunt comes through to follow up. Jabs is dead. They want to chase after cancel. He has one more leap available. The Reality chases after Biryu. Instead, the 3-mana Pale keeps a couple of heroes alive, but not the Nyx Assassin. He will fall. Now do they back up into Roche is the question for Singularity, and it looks like the answer is yes.
That would have been
was-
such a clean fight if they didn't get stunned on Mag.
Yeah, he blinked into the arrow.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
I thought it
he
was
blinked
Spike.
into an arrow.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
He would have gotten the Mirana as well, and that would have just been easy cleanup.
Do you think he buys BKB at some point for Mag?
Right now it looks like he's going for the Yules.
Yeah.
Which
Thanks for the help, Cancel.
I actually
Oh,
would
are they
prefer
gonna
a
keep going?
Lotus, honestly, but
Ooh, nice skewer back. He has the gem again. They're going to lose it. He died instantaneously.
Wow.
did they not see the gem? Oh wait, there we go.
That is an ice combo. The Skewer is often very difficult to land, but it's so easy with Slight Chains. There's no Force Staff on the Dire, right?
I don't
They don't have a
think
single
so.
one.
No, they don't.
So Slight Chains is a guaranteed setup for the Blink Skewer.
They don't even have like Dragonlance or Hurricane Pike from Mirana. It's going Mancha style.
Yeah.
It's fine.
He's
I
the
think.
only one who can break. Well, Lifestealer can as well with Rage. Can break out of the chains, but any of the other 3 are just in trouble unless they have an instant Oracle Purge or something. That's tough.
Actually, I'm a bit surprised that the Mag isn't going Lotus.
Uh,
I think someone should. It's
Maybe he goes
amazing
after?
against Kingdra's team.
does he go it after this?
Well,
Like,
if,
he's
if
already
you're
done Eul
buying,
Scepter.
if you're buying Yules, you don't buy both.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, 3,100 health. It's so crazy. Oh.
They have found the Warlock, who has no mana for Golem. He does
Now
now.
he does. Oh.
Alright,
Oh,
he's
that's-
dead. Cancel just destroyed him. RP's back up in 12. Ember's actually kind of in trouble. He's going to have to remedy it away. And he will do so. They are going to take contention over the Roche pit for Kingdra. They're holding on.
Don't know what Warlock was doing up there on his own.
There's no Haunt, and RP just came off cooldown. Surprised that Kingdra didn't force that a bit harder.
Are they going to try to go here? Mikey's thinking about it. They want that skewer back combo, I think.
I feel like they could have committed there. Like,
Yeah.
the Warlock's dead. I mean, maybe he has buyback, maybe he doesn't. RP was close off cooldown, but you know Haunt's down.
Yeah.
It's daytime, they don't have darkness, is probably why.
I would say that darkness is less important than Haunt in the grand scheme of the game.
Yeah.
And this Spectre's going crit. Let's go.
With the item build that Lifestealer, or sorry, that Night Stalker has, he provides quite a lot during daytime.
Yep.
That's one of the upsides to itemizing like this, is that the primary purpose of him is protecting his teammates.
They have found the Ember Spirit. He is silenced. He has Yules. He will use it. RP onto 2. The Haunt comes out. The False Promise immediately onto cancel. They want to bring down Bambo. They drop the Golem. He will certainly fall here. Meanwhile, getting low is going to be the Leshrac. They also lose the Warlock here. Charlie is shooting up the back lines, but it's still 3 dead. Cancel died through the False Promise. Charlie is going to get chained up. Didn't TP out in time. The Rage wasn't there, and now he is in trouble as well. He'll try to run his Infest down still for 20 seconds. He does have Rage available. He's going to use it, but I don't think it's going to do anything. The open moves he tried to turn, not successful. It's all 5 dead for Kingdra. Singularity, clean house. They're going to take Roshan as well.
Losing a hero where that gets Oracle ulted is pretty tough, actually.
Yeah.
Didn't have any way to heal him. I mean, the Fatal Bonds must have done a huge amount of damage there. But it's like it felt like the first fight that Warlock actually got to do something to me. But Spectre Haunt was big too.
All right.
It was a planned one. He wanted to get full mana.
They saw OG just dying to stuff, and we're like, I guess this is how you do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that clap damage? I mean, Roche damage did get buffed, so
I think
people are
he
just
got
making
bashed.
mistakes. But
I'm not going to.
He got bashed and died, but he should have been tanking in the first place when they have a Magnus with Crimson Guard.
Yeah.
Should just be letting
Wait,
him
you're
do
telling me the 15 armor, 3200 health hero should be tanking?
I don't know, it's just
That
a hunch
sounds
I have.
unbelievable to me.
You're some kind of like MMO player, aren't you? Just trying to min-max.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Lame. Well, I mean, this is kind of... It's still really early. It's like 35 minutes in, but you can see the tides turning. Spectre late game.
Yep.
Ember Spirit late game. You know, the Mirana's starting to slow down a little bit. She's used her BKB numerous times. She's down to 7 seconds. If they kill the Oracle, the fight goes drastically worse for Kingdra.
Yeah, and now it's when it gets scary, because Spectre can actually just haunt reality on Oracle, drop his Manta, purge him, and then he can jump on another target. The Manta illusions are going to destroy this Oracle and force him to use a defensive False Promise. He actually might have to stay there with his primary hero for a little bit, but if he does it very well, he can maybe select 2 different targets.
Oh, he can definitely kill that Oracle if he doesn't False Promise.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was more if how long he needs to keep the real Spectre there.
Ah, okay.
Because if he defusals him, the Oracle can just purge it off with Q and run away. So he has to actually stick on him with the dagger.
He went the health town, by the way, in the Spectre.
Yeah, for sure. It's I don't know if I will ever. I don't think I've ever seen the other talent selected by anyone at any point.
I think giving up 8 stats is probably all right. But yeah, 500 health.
500 health
is a lot.
Insane.
Especially when you go to agi build like this, you really need the perks to make up for the lack of raw health.
You really sold me on the Spectral Dagger talents. Plural.
I think the slow against a lifestealer, I think the slow is not that important. But
yeah.
Different game, maybe it would be worth it.
I'm just joshing. So is this Nyx Assassin.
If he's against an Ember, genuinely, like the slow is really good.
They will try to put. They have double siege bottom with a couple of illusions. Do you come back and defend if you're Singular? I know you have like Aegis Cheese. You want to push high ground, but
this is honestly quite a hard defense. I feel.
Yeah.
Like this is Aegis and Haunt. Daedalus
no
up on
Nyx.
Spectre.
That's Glyph. Double Glyph. Is anybody going to go back? They're going to just try to trade this. Edict was already used.
I think they're hoping that Spectre will go back, then they can solo kill him, and then he would be able, and that would have been good for them. But I mean, this is not all bad, I guess.
I mean, they're taking racks. This at this point is going to be a trade.
They're matching. So.
Yeah, they're trading.
I would not be happy with this if I were Radiant.
They're going to try to get 2. There's no tier 2, or there's tier 2 mid, so they can't get 2 for Kingdra, which is
now
good
I'm
news.
starting to be happy with it without Radiant.
Yeah. I don't know if they needed to trade racks away.
No, I don't think they did.
Well, they had a tier 2 mid, so the trade will ultimately end up still favoring.
Yeah.
them. Even if it wasn't like perfect.
Haunt comes out. They kind of mistimed it. They like baited out Golem Rock. They stopped using it, and then the Haunt came in right after, and so they don't actually end up doing anything with it. Well, all right then.
That was still like best case scenario, I feel, for Kingdra. You don't want to actually take a team fight.
Hey, he did buy BKB.
Yeah, he went Eels BKB.
Plus 12.
He has
armor.
actually so much armor.
What?
Buy an AC next for good measure. Just why not?
Buy a heart. 5k health.
There we go.
Let's go.
I mean, he's practically unkillable now as it is. I mean, I guess he is unkillable. I don't want to say practically. Well, I don't know. I guess if he gets caught by a cancel on Charlie, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. He's very tanky.
It's gonna go Nullifier on Lifestealer. I like the Halberd pickup.
I'll see you later, Shrek. Yule's Glimmer.
good
Maybe he
Yule.
can force himself out of this situation. They have Golem. They're going to turn it around. Maybe not see you later. That is a dead Nyx assassin. And they're going to ignore him. Finally, they hit him. Now they're looking for Bambo. That's another gem, or the same gem. I'm not sure which, but he's going to lose it regardless.
Okay, he stood still. Spectre ran away. It's about showing off who's cooler.
See ya.
I don't need to be here. Says Spectre and runs bottom. And their wave is pushing in. But they've got a pretty good wave top, courtesy of Charlie. So this is definitely going to force a rotation back from the Radiant.
So another tier 3.
They should just not
They
let this
really
happen.
do
What's
not care
going
about
on?
their base.
Why?
Just screw it, I get. What? They're going to lose another Rax. They
Yeah,
don't
but
have Cliff?
okay, so
he
their
raised GP.
idea is they can't Mega, right? Because they have a tier 2 mid still. So even if he takes that, they're just banking on the push ending the game. If it doesn't end the game, then it was just a mistake.
Well, Aegis is gone.
Okay, it was a mistake.
And they're back.
Pack it in, boys.
It's just when you have the better late game team, you're in the better position, you have Aegis, you have all these advantages. You could just TP back the Spectre, start messing with the guy's bottom. You can always haunt back to your team if you need to take the fight. And they're not going to kill you in your own base when you have Aegis and Manta. Spectre can defend and the other heroes can push.
Yeah, it was definitely a misplay. I thought they would commit really hard because that's the only thing that would make sense. If you're going to sit there and let your tier 3 get attacked and you just end the game because you know that the enemy lifestealer can't physically mega you. Just can't happen. But yeah, with them just kind of like hesitating and sitting around, it just ends up being a
But can he mentally mega you?
no.
Okay.
Because it's a lifestealer against late game Spectre Mag.
There's no mental 8 gaming in that situation.
Then catch the right heroes. Look to the north a little bit. They're smoked and.
That's a Mask
getting
of
fed.
Madness Mirana, by the way. Cancel is all in.
She just bought it, didn't she, too?
She's
Yeah.
gonna make Butterfly with probably Satanic, I guess. So, just a temporary thing.
Double damage Spectre bottled. They have everything ready except Golem.
They just need to find the fight. They need to find an avenue to take the initiation.
Yep.
That's all they're really looking for right now.
If a 5-on-5 breaks out now, the game should end. So
Yes.
the Dire side need to try to avoid this happening. They need to try to find someone split off from his team or force them back by pushing the other lanes.
They almost have the Nullifier on Charlie, which is good news. Who do you use? Do you go on Ember Spirit?
You can go on Spectre with it.
Yeah.
If like if you can't Manta your open wounds and you catch him in a stun with a Nullifier, he could die.
They're going to try to go. Ember Spirit has been caught. They're looking
What
for
a
an
force.
RP. He misses it. They're going to infest inside. He's in the siege group right now, the Lifestealers anyway. Ember will pop the BKB. They'll buy back in the next assassin who dies immediately. Haunt, I think, was just used. It was. Charlie's going to jump out looking for the Ember Spirit. RP comes in. It's only a defensive RP to keep the Ember Spirit alive. Dust comes out. The Purifying Flame of Leshrac, who will fall. Solon is going to get impaled, so they'll lose both supports here for Singularity. And they don't get that much of a return. Was it just the Nyx buyback, I believe?
Yeah.
And they're going to lose Mikey in the gem again, looks like.
We'll
Nice
see.
Hunter in the night. And that's true. He's very tanky. No BKB, no TP.
Oh, we got the Halberd proc, the main.
This will take a year and a half. We're getting there. Almost done.
Keep procking.
You can get there. I believe in you. There you go.
Beautiful. So why did that fight go so well? I mean, the RP only hit like one guy, right? It hit Lifestealer while he was raged, and they were all running away.
Wait, can they do anything with this? No.
There were a lot of things that went wrong for the Radiant in that fight, and that's why they lost it. The RP only caught the Lifestealer, who they couldn't kill because he caught him way too late. They kind of threw away the Haunt. They didn't have Golem. And the Ember Spirit almost died before the fight began, so he had to BKB and run around with 1/5 health. I think the way you do this push is you empower the Spectre and you let her hit the tower. And for the Dire to kill Spectre, they need to all-in her, like use absolutely everything, and then you buy back Haunt. But instead they let the Ember stand in front, and if he can get caught, you know, there's always the risk for a stun into arrow combo. If it wasn't for that Force Staff, he would have just died on the spot, actually.
Yep.
So this is a bit sloppy from Singularity. I don't think this is their best showing or their best performance. If they played like this, I'm surprised they were able to take a game off Blinkpool. But they did have a 5th pick Brood, so maybe the game was easy, but I know they can play a lot better than this. They might be a little bit nervous with what's at stake here.
Yeah.
What's on the line.
Well,
Generally, their teamfight execution as a team is pretty good. But
they've played pretty well. The base mishaps have been unfortunate for Singularity. Kingdra are staying in this game. The Miranda is the highest level hero in the game and third highest net worth. She just finished a butterfly.
starting to hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, Moonlight Shadow cooldown, multi-shot, Sacred Arrow cool. I mean, even with the change to the Moonlight Shadow, doesn't that seem still really good?
The Moonlight Shadow cooldown is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That talent is so good. After Moonlight Shadow started giving move speed as well, it's plus 50% move speed to your whole team almost permanently.
Oh, I didn't know it gave.
I've seen a couple SEA games where they go Sacred Arrows.
It's
but
15%, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like the arrows is better here, just because there's so many like hard to kill teamfight initiators on the enemy team. Like if you land an arrow on like a mag at plus one other hero, it just feels like that's your best chance to fight, to me. But maybe I'm wrong here.
Well, he's still got
I just think that it's one of those choices that it won't really affect the outcome of the game. Because sure, having Moonlight Shadow up a lot of the time is very nice, but obviously there's going to be detection and there's been gems flying around the entire game, so I don't think that like the Moonlight is really going to be the make or break.
The movement speed is nice.
Yeah, the movement speed is the biggest benefit of that talent, honestly.
But the yeah, I'm fine with either talent, honestly. If he can get a great multi-shot arrow, the way these fights have been going so far has been pretty chaotic and a lot of like movement back and forth. So a multi-shot arrow could definitely land on 2 targets.
Maybe 2 reality illusions.
yeah.
I mean, it might honestly be a better talent this game because of how the fights are playing out. To get the Sacred Arrow multi-shot.
And like vision too. If your opponents are retreating, just
it's nice for vision.
Oh, they still have the cheese from that last Roche attempt for Singularity, and Roche is up now too.
you know, that's actually one hero that I feel like whose net worth hasn't really increased that much since Embers.
He's still a little behind.
It's slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's probably scared to push because of Nyx, perhaps. He's not split pushing
the
as
Nyx
much.
pressures that hero's game so hard. You can't really sit in a side lane even with the BKB because what ends up happening is he carapace stuns you with the Flame Guard or off of like a Maelstrom proc or something, and then you just end up dying. I probably would have preferred him buying an Aeon disc over BKB, to be honest. Because I feel like that solves your ability to sit in a side lane problem better than a BKB does.
I agree. I think it's better too.
He's going Lincoln's for next too.
Although I will say that probably for the overall engagement, BKB works better. But if he can't play his game because he doesn't have Aeon, then it hurts.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to wait here a little bit. There are some lag issues for, I believe, Singularity. Little Shrek called it out, so.
Can we look at some talents on
Yes,
random heroes
we
that
sure
normally
can.
I wouldn't bother asking you for?
Okay,
let's go through them.
Here's let's start with the Warlock then.
All right.
Here you go.
Nothing weird there.
No, pretty normal. Here's the Shrek.
Nothing weird there.
Great
really.
stuff.
Oh, he took Lamana.
Ember. Oh.
Got True Strike. Definitely very good this game. Against Lifestealer and stuff.
We already saw the Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
Mag we already saw.
Just literally all survivability.
Night Stalker, as you would expect.
Common trend here. And
Lots of HP.
Yeah. Evasion for Lifestealer. Hey, look, we made it through, guys.
nice.
Well played.
Good fill.
Oh, do we get to Oracle?
What did Nyx get?
Yeah, we didn't get Nyx Oracle.
Oh, you know what? You really want me to?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Those were like the two I actually was most interested in. We went movement speed. Okay.
And GPM.
Over the cast range, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he has a
He has
blink
a
dagger,
lens as
and
well.
he used the Aether Lens.
If he's out of range with Blink Lens, he messed up.
Yeah, that's like the whole map.
Well, he's gonna get hit by a Haunt, I guess.
When
Was
you-
his GPM talent always 120 at 50?
They just changed it. It used
Okay,
to be
they
90.
did.
be
Gotcha.
90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here is a fight potentially breaking out. Just kidding. They did not find Bambo. They did, however, find Biryu. They have the gem, I believe, on the Magnus. He's not currently at the engagement, although he's about to be.
Got the arrow on
Ember.
a Ember.
They saw the Night Stalker flying uphill with the Haunter in the Night. They have caught him with the Searing Chains. Skewer back. That's maybe the gem. That is almost certainly the gem.
You know, this keeps happening.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for it happening, but you guys mentioned a 4-step earlier. That really would save his life so many times.
Mastermind just tanked an arrow to the face.
The primary problem is that they're not playing together. He was completely fragmented away from his team, so.
I
They're
mean,
gonna
look at
try to fight this, and they're
Singularity's base is
Pushing
getting
mid, yeah.
crushed by creeps.
Cancel's just gonna walk and drop his Manta and just go to work. Here comes the Haunt, though. Mikey still has the RP. He's trying to find any target he can. They want to kill Jabs. He's not dead yet, though. He's not going to reality in. Instead, they're going to look for the next assassin. So they still have the ultimate from the False Promise, I believe. They do. Cancel just soloed the Leshrac. Leshrac buys back. Roche low. They will take Aegis and Cheese. They will continue to pressure. Bambo will try to Hunter in the Night. He won't be able to move because he's chained up. And there's the Promise, but I don't see him getting out of this, really. And they're going to RP Jabs as well, which a little aggressive. Golem drop down, and they're going to clean house here. False Promise is done. 3 dead. Mirana did get haunted on. I think that was the Refresher Shard, actually. It must have been.
It was, yeah.
So
what happened was, I think the Spectre was trying to swap his inventory slots and gave the Manta to the Magnus somehow.
Nice.
Yeah, he just gave it back. Okay, there we go. So yeah, he had the Refresher Shard on him.
That is unfortunate. Well, they take 3. They get the gem back at the beginning of all of that. They kill the Jabs Oracle.
Was
that was
Lifestealer
a
there in
Bambo-
that fight at all?
No,
Like at any point?
I don't think so. I don't remember him being there.
At that range barracks.
They're actually just taking the base so hard, though. BKB for cancel. He is just looking to kill this Leshrac again, but he's fine.
He's getting top racks.
Yeah, he's gonna get this melee racks and just
Like,
leave
what is
probably.
happening? How is this happening?
Good
He
thing he
actually-
didn't hit the range barracks.
Can he
The
get
Ember
out?
does not have bots or a TP scroll in his inventory.
This game's getting interesting.
Yeah, Warlock's TP was cooldown. Leshrac, I think, was dead. Spectre couldn't TP because his TP wasn't in his inventory.
All right, we just saw like 2 different. Okay, one of them was Mirana, but Mikey got bots.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Sin. This is definitely not their strongest showing. I mean, they should be in a very dominant position, and they just won a Roshan fight with forcing a buyback out of Bambo, and they lost a melee Rax.
The problem here is that you're starting to see the aftermath of what it matters, how much it matters that they lose this bottom lane of Rax early when they trade, because the winning team has to go and defend this lane all the time, and they could have stayed ahead, taken a lane of Rax while defending their own, most likely, but instead they open this little door in for Kingdra, and Lifestealer is just playing on the opposite side of the auto-pushing lane all the time, so they actually end up needing to defend a decent amount. And, well, at some point, if you make a misstep, you don't have your TPs ready, you can lose a Rax on the other side.
And look at how farmed this Lifestealer is now.
Yeah.
He's got
Big.
the Orchid Nullifier combo.
He's been hitting
He's
a lot
getting
of creeps while
blood
his team has been dying in team fights.
And he got a
so.
free invis, so he could definitely get a kill right now if the enemy team groups at all.
Yeah.
I'm
Does-
surprised with how late this game is that more people aren't 25 yet.
Yeah.
Spectre
Maybe
went.
not
Oh,
quite
wow.
enough fighting. He
It's a
did it.
low-
He went the Haunt Illusion
He's
damage.
got a Daedalus though and
Wait,
a
what?
lot of agility items.
Yeah, he went
so
the Haunt Illusion
his,
damage.
his illusions are hitting for 160, and they're also going to be critting. So
Mirana went for the Moonlight Shadow cooldown, so still pretty good.
So what I've discovered from this game is that both teams hate their base.
Yeah.
It looks like it. They have Aegis on Spectre. There's the Rage BKB from Mikey. That's a 3-man RP. They're going to haunt it up. They're going to use the Shockwave. There's the Sleight of Fist. Everybody is dying at this point. Charlie has to run. They've got the Hex up. They've dropped down the Night Stalker. The Golem will come through as well. Buyback coming in onto 2. That's the Nyx as well as the other support. They will drop Charlie down. He's forced to buyback. Cancel. The False Promise is now done. He's forced to run away. The Sleight of Fist coming in and doing even more damage, and he is done so. He's going to have to buy back. Everybody is buying back for Kingdra, and it still might not be enough to save their base, but it looks like they will push them back for now. They literally used 4 buybacks, almost 5 if they had one for Bambo, but they don't. There's the Hex coming back in. They want to bring down Charlie again. False Promise is back up, though, so he should be fine. The Aegis is there. Cheese comes out. Now the Nullifier up onto Magnus, trying to get away. Should be fine, not taking that much damage, although he does take an arrow, but they can't jump out of the base anyway. Charlie is full HP after that False Promise, but now that is down, and they're going to work. Look at the Spectre. Look at the Ember Spirit do the damage. He can try to get it off, and he will, and a good Fortune's End might actually save his life. They just need 2 auto attacks. He peeled off because he was in this. The Moonlight Shadow, and they didn't have detection. Mikey wasn't close enough, it doesn't look like. But it's still megas, and a lot of buybacks for Singularity.
well, that's a lot of gold lost, but they're only down 8k, and we do know that Singularity does not defend their base, so this could be evened.
It's just called Defense of the Ancients, not Defense of the Barracks, okay? You just gotta hold the Ancient.
He's got
Only
a point.
one building matters.
The ones
Only
near the
one.
bounty runes.
I mean, they took megas. They are 9k up. But,
And they have superior late game and team fight.
exactly.
I think they're gonna win, but something could happen.
Let's not rule out the possibility.
How many buybacks do the Radiant have?
They have 4 of them.
Okay.
And who cares about the Leshrac, to be
I
honest?
think this is almost the only way they lose the game at this point, is that they die without buyback. That's pretty much the one trap that remains.
That would be a colossal throw.
Yes.
It is fun to see Spectre go a different build though, like skipping Radiance.
I've seen a lot of Spectres start doing this more now, going this like auto attack,
Yeah.
Manta Diffusal build.
Even without Magnus, I've seen it. It's
think
just
it's pretty
nice
good.
because when you go into a fight, you're not just like this one-trick pony who basically just whittles people down with Radiance Burn and stuff. You do so much damage
Yep.
with just a Diffusal Blade if you isolate that hero that they die in seconds.
The Radiance is still nice this game when you have Fatal Bonds and...
Do you still like it against Nyx? Because I feel like you just end up getting stunned every fight and it's really annoying.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna end up getting stunned anyway, right? Nyx can just put Carapace on and hit you once, and then you get Carapace stunned from the dispersion anyway. And
But then
you're
you
gonna be
also have
dispersing damage
to
all the time.
you also have to play the same game as Ember does if you have the Radiance, where you can't really leave it on in a side lane if you're pushing, because then the Nyx
That
sets
is
up
true.
a gank.
He leaves himself susceptible to that. That is right. Yeah. It might be the reason he didn't go for it. He might also feel like, okay, you know what, they counterpicked me, the solution that they have to me is Lifestealer. I want to be able to take that man fight, and Radiance does not offer me anything in that man fight compared to raw stats and crit.
I kind of would have liked in that like line of thinking that he just made an Abyssal Blade at some point, but maybe he feels like he just wants the raw damage and attack speed.
I think his team has enough damage already, or disable already.
Yeah, the Mikey's been really good about landing his RPs. I thought with Night Stalker and like Ether Lens on Oracle that he might have a hard time getting in and like doing what he wants, but he's still played it very well.
It just comes down to one fight now. That's all they really need to do. One big RP and they just win the game outright for Singularity.
What, another Massive Madness?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I think it's fine. There's not that much physical damage, so.
Nice Manta.
It's the most cost-efficient
Uh-oh.
damage you can
Mastermind's in trouble. Golem, though, to turn it around. There's the RP turn. That's going to be 2. And that's cancel. The False Promise will not save him. I'm almost sure of it. Both supports are dead. Meanwhile, the Spectre continues to harass the backlines. He's going to get nullified, to be fair, and he is probably going to die, but the rest of the heroes are dying elsewhere. Cancel's dead with that buyback for 2 minutes now. Mastermind is starting to go to work. That's going to be Bambo that is dead, and it's just Charlie. That's GG. So, Singularity, despite some interesting plays they made with their base, overall they did play well enough to take this game, to take this victory, and Kingdra now go down 0-3 in the EU qualifiers.
Well, certainly a much better showing from Kingdra that game. But there was certainly a lot of sloppiness on both sides, I think.
I'm not sure if Singularity played better than Kingdra in this game. I just think they had a draft that, when it reached the stage, almost couldn't lose. Which is a bit concerning for me, because once again they took a game off of Blinkpool, and were looking like a team that could maybe make top 4. I think this level of performance, if they don't outpick their opponents, is only going to win against one remaining team in the group, probably. It's not going to cut it against the rest, so they need to step it up a bit. As far as Kingdra, it was nice to see some improvement. I think they played better in this game than in the previous one that we saw. They were also given more of a chance to do it.
Yeah.
So overall, not one of the weaker games of the groups, but it was an entertaining game nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. It seems like they're all the players in these games are very high skilled. Is kind of the disappointing part, I guess. Like, they're all individually very good, but they're just not team working well. They don't like move around together. They don't organize. They don't hit good timings and stuff. And that's more of like, that feels like a practice thing to me, more than a skill thing, which is what makes it tough.
Which is interesting. They've been around for a while, I believe. I mean, that's why they're in the regional qualifiers. They've been together for a while, so.
Yeah.
What I heard was that Kingdra basically didn't practice until 1 week before the qualifiers.
Oh.
And then they scrimmed.
Well,
I mean,
there might be a connection between how much you practice and how well you perform.
who would have thought?
It's possible.
well, either way, rough stuff for Kingdra. They had a pretty good early game. They had a good chance, but then Spectre and Ember Spirit came online. They took over the game.
See, it's very interesting. I want to look at that win rate graph just for a second. I don't generally consider...
thanks,
can
Rob.
we bring that back, Rob? Thanks. So generally, I don't really care too much about this win rate graph, because I think a lot of the time it can be very misleading based on pub stats and whatnot, but this is generally the story of a Spectre lineup minute 40 that is even on barracks, but where the enemy team just doesn't beat you in late game. Like, look at the win percentage that they have with a minimal golden experience lead at this point. It's like an almost unlosable game from... and the data from this has to be from drafting, right? Like, it compares the hero matchups and the stages of the game and what is the expected outcome. So, Dota Plus was right, everybody.
And
Don't forget to subscribe to Dota Plus.
You know, Kingdra has this lineup where they have the Nyx, and the Marana, 2 pretty decent vessels for a Lifestealer, and this Lifestealer farms 3,500 gold. And there had been no infest ganks up until that point, after Armlet. Like 3,500 gold after Armlet, and then they decided to go for something. I don't know. The teams that don't really practice together a lot, or maybe are just nervous, don't go for plays.
Yes.
And when teams don't go for plays, you don't win. Like it just doesn't, especially against a Spectre lineup with a Magnus and an Ember. That just doesn't lend itself to victory, in my opinion.
It's pretty simple, right? If you don't communicate, what's the default play? Hit creeps.
Right.
And if you're not communicating, I have this stuff ready, I want to go and make this play. Oh, look at this opening on the map that we can make if you just push out this extra wave and we go smoke. If that communication isn't happening, nothing will happen in the game. It's super unlikely that 3 or 4 players without talking get the same idea at the same time.
It reminds me a lot of...
Somebody has to lead.
Makes me think of my biggest pitfall in pubs, which is like, I'm dead, I respawn, and I look on the map and I TP somewhere. I don't organize. I just and then I never have my teleport ready to fight. I never think like, oh, I'm going to teleport to this tier 2, someone else will TP there, then we smoke, then we go. Like, none of that happens if you play without teamwork. And I think if that one play you're talking about where they did the infest, I think all they need to do is get a gem a little bit earlier, start dealing with some of the sentries on the map, and then do infest ganks like crazy. But I felt like Biryu was moving around, he kept getting grabbed by sentries, so they just kind of felt like, there's sentries everywhere, whatever. But if they just control the sentries better and then do all those infest ganks, like they could have definitely gotten control of the game, I think.
Well, one thing is for sure, Kingdra will have a rough road, if not an impossible road to get through to the next round, to the playoffs of the EU qualifiers. They are 0-3. They're, I think, one of the few, actually, a lot of the teams are below the 500 threshold, so they've got a lot of work to do, of course. That leaves OG and Wind and Rain as our 2 3-0 teams for now. We'll have more from them later today. We still have plenty of series to go, but we will need to take a break, so we will do that. Get back into our next series in just a bit, so stick around, folks. We'll see you in just a moment.